I think it's about time to do another dessert, so I made a low-carb version of tres leches' South African cousin, malva pudding cake. I say malva-ish because traditionally it uses apricot preserves, which I didn't have, so I used what I did have, sugar-free grape preserves, but I think it'd work with any kind of preserve or jam. First the dry, 1¼ cups of almond flour, half a cup of oat fiber, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of vital wheat gluten, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and half a teaspoon of ground clove, fresh is best. I sifted that all together, pushing through the thicker bits before moving on to the wet ingredients. You can use a hand mixer or a manual whisk if you don't have a stand mixer. Into the mixing bowl I put 2 large eggs, 1/3 to a 1/2 cup of sweetener, I use monk fruit sweetener and a little allulose, and half a cup of sugar-free preserves. I use grape, apricot is traditional, but use whatever fruit you like. Whisk that until fluffy, about 2 minutes, and add 3/4 cup of milk and whisk until incorporated. Then I mix the dry into the wet. The batter is going to be kind of thin, but that's okay, don't panic and add more flour. I poured the batter into a square pan I greased with cooking spray and baked it in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. In the meantime, I made the sauce. Into a small pot, I put 3/4 cup of evaporated milk, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar substitute, I use swerve, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 4 tablespoons of butter. Simmer for about 3 minutes. I might have had the heat a little too high, but as long as you keep stirring, it won't boil over. I let the cake cool for a little bit on a rack before using a chopstick to poke a bunch of holes in it, making sure they went all the way through. I then poured the sauce all over it. It'll seem like too much, but the cake will absorb it. Let it soak for at least 10 to 20 minutes before serving. She's demure, she's mindful, she's super simple, and pretty low effort for how delicious and succulent she is, but you can easily make this as fancy as you want. Make it into a layer cake, make a cream filling, frost it. I was kind of shocked how this didn't move my blood sugar at all. Try this sweetie out, let me know how it goes in the comments, and follow for more low-carbified recipes from all over the world.